back at 200 yards. And since I've got my 100 yard zero, I want to keep a good record of the adjustments that I put on the scope from here, 200 yards. So I mark my book, 200 yards. Now they make these books professionally, and you can just follow the categories and keep a good track of everything you've got. But I use my own book. I just scribble in the notes. Here I write 200 yards, and at 200 yards the round should drop 4 inches. So I'm going to put the adjustment for 4 inches, and then I'm going to fire the shots. I'll get my results, and then I'll make another adjustment. Data on previous engagement, dope, D-O-P-E. So when I shoot, get my results, make the changes on the rifle, that data is called your dope. A lot of times, as they say on the Marine Corps rifle range, it's the dope behind the dope. Also, at 100 yards, when we made 1 click adjustment on the scope, it moved the round a 1/4 inch. At 200 yards, it's going to be different. 1 click on the scope will be a 1/2 inch. So in order to move the scope, in order to move the impact of the round, now we'll make 1 click, that'll be a 1/2 inch, another click, that'll be 1 inch, and so forth and so on until we get to our 4 inches. That round took the top of his head off. I'm going to shoot another round just to check it, but I'm pretty sure my bad shoulder. Oh, yeah. I can see the first 2 rounds. I can't see that one. Just have to check it. Okay, 200 yards. This was shot 1, this was shot 2. I only took the second shot because a little bit rusty. Thought maybe I could have made a mistake there. Shot number 2 confirmed that the scope was still set high. Now, right near the top of the head like this, if he was wearing a ballistic helmet, maybe the helmet would have directed the rounds up. Maybe he would have lived, but it's doubtful. At any rate, he's a dead man with that 308 round for sure, if he doesn't have a helmet. Shot number 3 and 4, with all this shadow, the eyebrows and stuff, I couldn't really see it from the 200 yard line, so I don't know which one is which, but this is shot 3 and 4. which is about where I want to be. I'm going to go a 1/2 inch down and a 1/2 inch right and shoot these again. That was most likely a bad shot. Now this is shot 4 and 5. I'm not sure which one is which, but I only made an adjustment of 1 click down and 1 click right, and it brought me from here, here, and here to there. So I'm going to take those adjustments off and do it over. What I really need and what I'd really like to have is a higher grade scope. This is a good scope. It's real clear, very bright. It's a Nikon Pro Staff 4-12 by 40, but it's nowhere near a true tactical scope or sniper scope. Nowhere near that. And so to get the results that you're getting off of Remington 700 with a scope like this is probably better than some folks get with $1,000 glass. As it is, I think I paid $250 for this scope, maybe. I don't remember. No bags, no vices. Flinch. If you anticipate those rounds, you're gonna mess it up. Now in a case like this, I shot here and here. I adjusted 1/2 inch down to 1/2 inch over, and I came over here. So this is 3/4 inch here, so you see it moved quite a bit. So I went back to the 200-yard line and I took this adjustment off. So theoretically it should have been back up here, but instead I took 2 shots and they're both right here in the same hole. They're in the exact same hole. And it is 2 rounds without a doubt. Now that's real good as far as shot placement goes, but what that means is when I took that adjustment off, sometimes with a cheaper scope you'll move the reticle, you'll move the knobs in order to move the reticle, but the reticle doesn't move. In that case, if I go back to the 200-yard line and give the scope a little knock on the top, it'll probably move the reticle without me having to turn any knobs. Now I just tapped on the dials. I don't think the last adjustment that I made actually registered inside the scope. And I was talking about it not being an expensive scope, and sometimes that's what you get. You move the dials, but the reticle doesn't move. Ah, that had to be off to the left. Yes, that's right where it needs to be. And that was a good shot technically, because I didn't have any idea when the round was going to go off. If the round surprises you, then you have the right squeeze. You want a slow, steady squeeze to the rear so that when the rifle goes off, it's a surprise to you. And one of the dangers of not shooting regularly is that your mind loses its focus on that. So to get back into it, you have to almost consciously tell yourself you don't care when it goes off. I don't care when it goes off. Now, yeah, I knew I had dropped one off low. I called it. These are up here right where they need to be. 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch at 200 yards. Well within a MOA. MOA at 200 yards would be 2 inches. And so 2 well placed rounds between the eyes at 200 yards. That is my 200 yard dope.